All of us reach a point in time where we are depleted and need to somehow find a way to reignite the fire within. But how do we spark that flame? Welcome to Reignite Resilience, where we will venture into the heart of the human spirit. We'll discuss the art of reigniting our passion and strategies to stoke our enthusiasm. And now, here are your hosts, Natalie Davis and Pamela Cass.
That's when I started doing books for consumers. Well, I actually did that when I was doing business to business. I advertised, I'd buy 1-inch ads in the Wall Street Journal, and I'd get people writing in on napkins and just crazy shit,
Yeah.
And then I said, well, if I get people to write me up, so I was doing press releases about information in Washington for businesses or whatever. And so to get people to write me up, and I said, ooh, that's a lot easier. And plus, it's a nobody. So it's sort of like you're getting a little holy water on you because
Yes,
publication wrote you up and things like that. So then when I start doing books with publishers in New York, I would say, and I used to do a lot of seminars and like entertaining or educating. I was a professor of computer science, and these were adults coming back to get their degree. And so it was mostly night. And I felt if I couldn't keep them awake, I couldn't teach them anything. So that's why I learned the first thing is you keep them awake. Then you can teach them. And then that worked great for media to get on talk shows.
Yeah.
And so my books, I mean, it was, I would spend a year writing a book, then I'd take a month and developing a pitch for a 1-minute interview, a 2-minute interview, a 4-minute interview, 15 minutes. After that, everything's going to come out. But
right.
You didn't want to go on these short, like news shows or Today Show and stuff, and only have a minute or two to say something and answer their question. No, I knew what I thought was the best thing to say about my book, no matter what they asked me.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And they don't care. They're all about entertainment too.
That's it.
And so that's why I was a regular guest. I did Oprah about 3 times, Larry King maybe a dozen or 2, and Letterman and all this kind of stuff. Because they know you're going to give me 7 minutes of free airtime national.
That's it. I'll take it.
Yes.
Matthew,
stop in the middle. I remember Letterman, you stop in the middle. Somebody has to buy a commercial for $50,000 or something like that.
Exactly.
I'm getting 7 minutes free because I act like an asshole. My parents did not admit I was their kid for the first 10 years on TV.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, my God.
But if
we don't know.
If I acted like they wanted me to do some erudite, sophisticated guy or whatever, I'd never sell a book.
No. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's what
I love it.
And you weren't authentic at that point. I was going to say, you're not being authentic, right? Like that's
right. Yeah.
And you can tell when somebody's not authentic.
Oh, God.
Drawn to somebody when they're not being who they truly are meant to be.
All right. Talk to a politician.
Okay. How long have you been wearing the amazing blazer?
20 years. Let's see, I'm 81. So 20 at least, maybe in my 50s somewhere. I remember the first day something I always wanted to do. And I was throwing off shows when I start wearing it. I was doing home shopping too. I'd go down there and sell 30,000 books in a day. That was incredible. I was bigger than Oprah. And I came down in a question mark suit one day. No, we're serious. Fuck, you're something. That's the people in trailers.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Oh my gosh. They're like, that crosses the line. We can't do that here. Yeah. Yes. Well, did you do the books before the infomercial and getting into the television space?
That was a consumer. Because I was a consultant. I charged $20,000 for what I charge $20 now for it because rich people will pay for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
If they're going to make
Yes.
money out of it, they don't care what the price is. Yeah.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's right.
But
And
they're not fun to work for because
mhm.
all they want is money. And that's why, to me, I don't want to help people really need it. I mean, they don't need another.
Yeah.
You want to feel needed in life. You know,
Right.
Everybody.
for rich people, you don't feel needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so providing the service with the grant program now, I mean, you're able to serve a huge
Right.
segment of the population. And just going back to the graph that you shared, so there's over 40 something percent in terms of
Right.
access in,
Exactly.
in private sector and all of that. So this shift, I'm assuming that this is filling your bucket. It sounds like you're having fun.
Absolutely.
Talk to us a little bit about the services that you provide and how you're able to help people when they reach out to you.
Yeah, it is. Well, I thought it took me a couple of years after people stopped buying reference books. That's what I was doing. And then no more reference book. Internet. Oh, what do you need a reference book for?
Yes. Yes.
So it took me years to figure out how can I get income from that. And so I started like a newsletter or something. And that's how it grew by accident. It became a community. And I always felt no matter what I did, I can't see the consulting business. You could charge $20,000 because those people pay it, but and so there's a lot of margin in that. But at $20, you would get a lot of margin. So I couldn't. And if it's only me, how much could I do with $20? And so what I found out what is happening is members were helping members. So now we have about 15,000 members that help each other get these programs.
Oh, that's amazing.
So they don't even need me. I go home. I don't want to.
Wow. Yes. Yeah.
And that's what it is. So it's all about, because they know it. They could relate to somebody just starting. I've been studying this for 50 years. You're going to bore the hell out of me because you just want to fix up your debt. You're not.
Yeah. Right.
I said that a million times, but it's still important. And so, and they, you're going to trust a guy who dresses like a clown, about what to do. So somebody who looks like you,
yes,
and tells you, hey, I did this, and you can too, versus me telling you I did this. Well, yeah, but I'm not bad.
That's it. Like, are you the person that I can connect to and relate to? Right.
Yeah.
The answer is yes for me, but yes.
Right. But, the people really struggling. I mean, half the people in our country can't afford a $500 bill.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if you know, but what happened in our country recently is that we have more poor people in America than any other developed country in the world. Okay? We're the richest country in the world, right? We have more millionaires than anybody else. But there's a graph showing all the EOCD, Economic, what do they call them? Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development. Okay. All the developed countries, now the rich countries, we're number one in poverty rate, 17.2. The average is about 10%. So we're number one. Yeah, we're number one, baby.
Yeah.
And that's, God, I mean, and that is because of these graphs. Okay, don't forget, you taking notes, or there'll be a test later.
Yes.
It's recorded, so I'm going to reference the notes. Yes.
Okay. You got a cheat sheet.
Yes.
You got to skip out of class early.
That's it.
Okay, this is wages for the last 50 years.
Yeah.
The red line is the bottom 90% of Americans.
Yeah.
And their growth in wages for 50 years.
Yeah.
That grew 30% in 50 years. The top did very well. You don't have to worry about it. But their wages went up 30%. But inflation went up 350%. So you're trying to, pay the bills with this graph.
With the 30% increase over time. Yes.
Graph.
Yeah.
So that's why people are pissed.
Yeah. Not even.
It's not about gender equality, right? I mean, that's important and stuff, but man, you can't eat, you have nothing.
Can't pay your
And then,
Yeah.
bills.
yeah, you see all the people who are doing well, or at least that are in the cabinet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and that's it. Yeah, so I'm trying to, I mean, they you have two options there to me is find programs that help you pay for those expenses and find help to create more income. And that's another thing. People don't look at that yet, but they should, because now you could get more help to anything. Like I just found there's 51 programs that are in demand in healthcare, and they will pay you to train for those 51 programs and also give you car fare money, give you daycare money, give you money to take the exam and all these kind of stuff. 51. Every city, county, state has this, but people don't know. They'll pay you $40,000 a year with just a high school degree to get $100,000 a year job. We have so many technical people, particularly in Colorado. I mean,
Yeah.
you have a lot of high tech jobs that need people and
Right.
healthcare and all these, and they train you for free and give you, programs that even pay your living expenses for free. So you can get that without a degree and get $100,000 a year job. So
Wow.
that's the kind of thing, that you get. Or you want to start a business, okay? Those organizations there to increase your
Yeah.
income, whether part-time or full-time, and not some scam on the internet.
Exactly. Exactly. Where
Yeah,
you send in $97 and there's not really a
exactly.
person there to help you
Be a million.
through.
Right.
Yes.
And,
For finding some of those programs, because I'm sure that our listeners are going to be intrigued. Is it the findhelp.org? Is it going?
yeah, but I mean, you could start at that findhelp.org that I
Okay.
did. Lesko help is me .com, but
Yep.
find help
Perfect.
sba.gov for training and stuff like that. You want to go to careeronestop.org, careeronestop.org. And also, if you go to findhelp.org and put in job training, you'll find 300 programs that have free training in
Really?
any zip code. I mean, there's so much free training out there to get the skills. Because if you don't have skills, you can't.
Yeah.
You're going to be waiting tables. Uh,
Findhelp.org. Okay.
yeah, and it's okay if it's a steakhouse, but
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. And I think that
uh,
that's where a lot of young people have found an easily accessible opportunity is
right,
in food service and
right,
hospitality.
Yeah.
These resources sound like they're actually broadening the horizon and potential for
absolutely,
individuals.
right,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
there every sign I give you as people there are trying to solve problems every day that you have. So you're not the first
Yes.
one to have this problem. So that's why you
Yeah.
want to go. You want to go, hire a plumber who fixed a bunch of toilets, not your uncle. Yeah, I know how to do
Yeah.
that.
Exactly. 6 months later, your toilet still doesn't work.
Right.
That's not
Exactly.
good.
Right. Yeah.
Well, Matthew, in terms of lescohelp.org and lescohelp.com.
No, .com. I'm
.com.
Dot
a
com.
.com. I'm a greedy bastard.
Lescohelp.com. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Tell us what our listeners will find when they venture over to your site and
Well,
how
it's that one-on-one help from other members,
perfect.
and I do about 4 or 5 videos every day.
Mhm.
Uh,
Wow.
yeah, I just love finding stuff. I'll show you what I found today. How about $1 million? You get $1 million with no payments for 12 months. And then after that, it's only at 4% interest. Man, you could take that and invest it in something that gives you 7%
7%
and
interest.
make
Yeah.
$1 million in a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Or even the first 12 months, you could do it. Well, I got $50,000 to $500 million to start a business in an airport. Yeah. They're giving you
Mm,
free training of 50% on discount on buying a house. You may know about this. This is Habitat for Humanity. I know in
hmm.
the real estate. I mean, they're great people. You buy a house half
Yes.
price because they 0% interest on your
Yes.
mortgage.
Yeah.
You get
Yes.
volunteer and have to do it, but 0% interest depending on the mortgage. That
Mhm.
means it costs you half price.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because
Yeah.
after 30
Exactly.
years, half the
Yeah.
money is interest for the bank.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay. But here's $125,000 to build an accessory dwelling unit. Those granny flats.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, see that? Because we have to start changing our policies where we could put more than one house on a lot. So they're doing that and putting a granny flat. And I see my AI camera thinks I'm going into the other room or something. Drifting out. So a local organization, see all the money. Like if I was in your business, the one place I would go to is your county community development office. They're the ones that get all the HUD money for home repairs, buying homes, buying everything. Really, most everything funnels through that. So county level, try the Office of Community Development. And I just found out, I was writing something up earlier that, and they give it like a seminar on how to fill out the application too for free.
Right.
You don't have to hire people. The government is there to do it. You just have to ask. People are afraid to ask. Well, here's $75,000 if you're a victim of crime or even sexual assault. Every state has crime victim assistance fund. So if your house broken into or something like that, that's available at every state. $100,000 to make and sell ice cream.
Sold.
I'll do that.
Sold. Done. I will sign me up. That is so great. Matthew, what is the most surprising grant option that you've come across in your time doing this work?
I lose. I remember what I used to say long ago, because I did interviews. I'd go out and do 100 interviews on a book, or maybe 150, and I'd travel all this. I'd go to a city, do 7 interviews, go to the other cities, do 7 interviews, and just keep going. And so some of that is one. I love saying the government gave a grant to make bread out of human waste.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
And
this
not
is
interested on that one.
I know,
yes.
exactly.
Oh, that makes
the
sense.
Greatest comeback I heard, and I forget, it was a very famous talk show. I forget the lady's name. That she said, "Oh, that's poopernickel." See, I'm still in the 3rd grade. You say poop.
That's it. Yes.
Oh gosh, that's awesome. We got that.
Exactly. That one we got. But I mean, here's the thing, you get, what a great opportunity for the creative minds, right? Because when you are talking about NASA and the Space Center, everything is recycled. Everything is recycled or incinerated. So we've got to, yes. Yes. Yeah. That's amazing. I would have never imagined that.
No.
It is. No. Trying to open people's minds that there's another option. To me, what bothers me more is that people go to Google, want to start a business. Everybody say, "Man, I don't have money." So though they feel they can't do anything, and that's painful to me. That we're sitting with all this talent, all this expertise, all this energy, and they think they can't do anything in this country. They can't. Look at the fat cats, how they're using the shit out of this stuff for them.
Absolutely. They know how to use it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tell us about your books. Like what are
no more books. Are you gonna buy reference books? No, we should buy a reference book.
I think everyone goes to their favorite search engine, or now whatever GPT platform they're using, whatever AI search engine they have. Yeah.
And that's it. Books? No, I do videos.
Videos.
That's how to communicate with video.
3 or 4 videos a day.
Yeah.
There's no excuse for those listeners that have had video on their list of things that they want to start doing. There's your lesson. Matthew says 3 or 4 a day. And again,
doing it. If I didn't enjoy it, I'd find another.
You wouldn't do it.
That's it. Well, not only do you have the joy of doing it, but I think it's also another outlet and way for you to help other people. And then all circles back to where we started, right? Being able to help others.
If nobody, the hardest thing about a business is not doing the work for the business. It's getting the customers. You have to be 80% of your creativity is getting the customers, not doing the work of the business.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's where the creativity really has to come in.
Love it.
Well,
Unless you have a lot of money.
Yeah.
that's true.
Most of us
Then you
don't.
buy the customers, or you
Exactly.
influence. We're not buying customers. I'm sorry. You influence them.
I see, right.
Mhm.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean, even with this podcast and some of the projects that Pam and I have worked on, we've discovered that, right? You do all of the heavy
yeah,
lifting in whatever it is that you've created,
right,
and then someone needs to come and get it, right? We can't just
right.
simply leave it and hope and pray that someone shows up
Yeah.
that wants it.
They're
Yeah.
not going to find it,
No,
themselves. And
Mm-mm.
it's
not
up
with
to
all the
you.
chatter that's out
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
And that's another reason, I think, to do something you really believe in,
Yeah.
because then you have the energy to do that. A lot of people will say, "Oh, I'm not a marketing person." I said that initially.
Mhm.
I could never be a salesman. I remember saying this early in our relationship with Wendy, that she heard me say that at dinner, and she looked at me. You know, at the time, I was like the biggest huckster in America. And
Yeah.
I said, "No, I could never do that. Getting out of business school, I never had jobs. I can't sell it." But I'm
Yeah.
not selling now. This is not selling to me.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
educating.
You're
Yeah,
educating,
Yeah.
giving value
And
to people.
providing value. That's it.
yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love it. Well,
Amazing.
Matthew, if you have some advice for our listeners that have found themselves in a spot where they think that they've, reached a roadblock, or there's a wall in front of them and they can't get something done, either
right.
professionally or personally, what are some tips that you would give our listeners, and ways that they can
Well,
really work around or overcome those hurdles?
yeah, the main thing is about listening to your heart, because you're listening to other people about what to do, and find free help that is out there for people with your kind of problem.
Mhm.
And that's why you could go to findhelp.org and put in, if you want a better job or something, and talk to the people who get people jobs. And they're all free. They're not people who are headhunters making money off of you. These are people who are free to, or whether start a business or start a nonprofit or anything. There's free people out there that are happy to help you. And the free sources, ask your librarian. We forget about those people. I mean, they know the free stuff
Yeah.
where you live. And you can even get free computers. I mean, you put on Find Help, you get free computers. I mean, there's a whole bunch of nonprofit organizations in every city that give out free laptop computers if you don't have them. We do. We give out 30 every month for 30 laptop computers. We also give out about $50,000 or more in grants to our members. When I started making money, I said, I didn't realize I was going to make money. I just
Yeah.
wanted something to do for the rest of my life. So after we pay all the people, we give the rest back to members in grants. So we have 4 different grants. We have one you could spend anything on, $1,000 to do anything you want. Another one to pay for fixing up your car, $500. Another one for rent or anything around the house. That's I think we're doing about $500 there again. And we give out 30 free laptop computers.
Nice.
So it averages about 50,000 or more, sometimes 70,000 every month. I mean, I thought you had to be Jeff Bezos to do something like this,
Yeah.
or his ex-wife. Yeah,
Definitely. That's yes. One of the two. Yes, that's right. That's right.
because she's doing a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no,
Just have to be a great person.
how rewarding that feels to
Yeah.
be able to do that
Yep.
is just remarkable. And so that's why one of the reasons I'm having more fun than ever.
I love it.
Follow your heart.
So grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and for our listeners, if you didn't pick up on it, it is either find the free people that are available to answer questions and guide you
Right.
through, find the free resources that are out there. And we just heard of free resources. And if you're not sure what you want to do, find someone to connect with and dial
Right.
into what you love.
Right.
Maybe repurposing and making pumpernickel is not your forte. That's fine. Don't
But
do
making
it.
ice cream might be something you
Go
might-
over and find the grant for
Yes.
ice cream. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Matthew, I think what I just in our time together and in preparing and knowing that you were going to be a guest on the show, oftentimes we hear about grants from two standpoints. It's one for education, right? So some type of higher education, and then government grants that are available for businesses. But for just the modern common citizen that is in need of help, wanting services or needing services and resources, there are thousands upon thousands of grant dollars and resources out there. There's something available. It's not just for your small business or your college degree. Yes.
Right. The government gives an average this year, it'll be $18,767 for every adult.
Wow.
That's how much free money grant is given out.
Amazing.
That's why the best way to do the living expenses thing is findhelp.org.
Yeah.
Get started there. Yeah.
Love it.
Well, I have left quite a bit of money on the table.
Right. Exactly.
I've not received my 18,000 this year or any year prior.
Any year. I'm old.
Oh, wow. I love it. Any last words for our listeners, Matthew?
Oh, I think another thing I know we talked about, maybe we showed is having fun and joy.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes all the bad shit go down. It also, if you're going to live, you're going to get shit on. Yeah. And that's going to happen to all of us, no matter what we do. And so the bigger humor bone you have, it would be helpful to get through all that stuff. And that's why I see if you're passionate about what you're doing, you don't take it as seriously because this is something you really want to do.
I love it.
I love that. I love that. I think that's a fabulous place to leave us. Now that even after saying that, I can't get the poopernickel out of my mind, but I think
you keep saying that word quite a lot.
Well, it's there. It's our new thing.
If
you get shit on, it is. If you get shit on, make some poopernickel and gift it to someone else, right? So now it's a whole piece.
Maybe it's something great.
No, Matthew, this has been wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Very insightful. We will make sure that we drop the links in the show notes for all of our listeners as well, and put your contact information in there so that they can connect with you and your team. Thank you for the work that you're doing. I know that it is making a difference in lives across the country. And so we're just honored to be able to help to spread your message and awareness about the services that you provide. And the value that you're giving that's changing these lives. So thank you so much for being a guest today.
My pleasure. You're sweet to work with. Thank you, both of you.
Yeah, it's
absolutely
all about love. All about love and questions. Questions and love.
Questions.
I love it. Well, for our listeners, if you want to know what's happening in the world of Reignite Resilience, head on over to reigniteresilience.com where you can check us out. If you have not subscribe to our Think Letter, you are missing out because that is an opportunity for you to learn more, get some behind the scenes of our guest appearances on the show, some feedback and some fabulous quotes that our guests share. I know that you're listening, but as you're listening and taking notes, sometimes we miss those little nuggets and gems that really keep us going and keep us motivated. It is released every Saturday. Sign up for that. And you can sign up for that on the reigniteresilience.com website. And until next time, we'll see you all soon.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you for joining us today on the Reignite Resilience podcast. We hope you had some aha moments and learned a few new real-life ideas to fuel the flames of passion. Please subscribe on your favorite streaming platform, like or download your favorite episodes, and of course, share with your friends and family. We look forward to seeing you again next time on Reignite Resilience.